Alright everyone, welcome back to the Hustlery Quick Wins series where I show you guys exactly which features to focus on and exactly how to optimize the software to work best for your business and to kickstart your growth journey with Hustlery as quickly as possible. Cool, so we've touched on a few basic things in the past videos and today we're going to start with some ad optimization and retargeting basics. So everyone thinks that to run effective ads, you need this specialist and you need specialized knowledge. But in actual fact, there's only a few metrics that you need to look at to see if your ad is performing well. As we always say, you need to know the numbers in your business. And today I'm going to speak about that so that by the end of this video, you know exactly which numbers to look at, which small changes you can make that can make a big difference in your ad performance. And then I also have a little bit of a bonus to show you how you can use the AI for your optimization and then also how to run some retargeting campaigns. Cool, so let's have a look at this client's business, Slimming Lab Aesthetics. They're in Irene in Pretoria. I have a permission to quickly look at some of her ads and to explain some of these metrics to you guys. So the basic metrics that you need to look at is this cost per mile, CPM. So that is how much you pay per 1,000 impressions. So for every 1,000 people that sees your ad, that is how much you pay. So in this ad's case, she paid 88 Rand to reach 1,000 people with her ad. So that is just people who see your ad. That's not necessarily people that interact with your ad or leave a comment or like it or send it on or leave their details, etc. That is just 1,000 people that sees your ad. And 88 Rand for 1,000 people to see your ad is actually not bad at all. And then the next one we're going to look at is the CPP, which is cost per purchase. So that is how much it costs for her to get someone to actually purchase one of her services. And then the impressions is 8,947. That is not something you should really worry about. Impressions is something that we call a vanity metric. It doesn't really make a big difference in your business. Then the next thing is leads. So this is the number of leads that you've generated from this ad. This is the amount of people that actually left their details so that you can go and contact them and follow up with them and turn them into a paying customer. So the next one that's very, very important is cost per lead or CPL. So that is how much money you spent to get someone's details. So as you can see, she spent 26 Rand and 47 cents per lead, which is actually very, very, very good. But you also need to keep in mind that your cost per lead is not always an indication of whether your ad is performing well, because sometimes you get bad quality leads and that influences your conversion rate. So if you want to see your conversion rate, you can go to the dashboard over here and then your conversion rate will show over here. She doesn't really use her dashboard to track all of her metrics, so I'm just quickly going to show you guys what ours looks like. For instance, ours is 8.74% 8.74% conversion rate, meaning that for every 10 customers that we or every 10 leads that we get in, 0.874 of those leads become a customer. So if let's say you generated 100 leads, 8.74 people actually become paying customers. So how do we translate that into this cost per lead, whether it's good or not? Let's say you spend 26 Rand per lead. Per 100 leads you generate, that's 2,600 Rand. Let me just pull my calculator out here to quickly show you guys how the math works. There you go. I'm just going to do this quickly. Sure. So let us say you spend 26 Rand per lead. You generate 100 leads. Okay? So that's how much it cost you to generate 100 leads. Now you converted 8.7% of those leads. So 0.874, that is how much it costs you per client that you actually get. So now you need to go and look at what is a client worth to you? Is a client worth 1,000 Rand to you? Is a client worth 500 Rand to you? Is a client worth 200 Rand to you? If the client is only worth 200 Rand to you once off, then your ad is not profitable. If you're paying 227 Rand per conversion. Okay, if a client is worth 500 Rand to you and you spend 227 Rand to get that client, then it is profitable. So then we also have something that you call a ROAS, return on ad spend. So if you have a client that is 500 Rand worth to you and you spend 227 Rand to get that client, then you have more or less a 2x ROAS, meaning that you make a 2x return on the money spent to get that client. Okay? If a client is worth 1,000 Rand to you and you spend 227 Rand to get that client, then you have more or less a 4x ROAS, meaning you have a 4x return on your initial investment to get that client. So that is an ad that is really performing very, very well. Okay? So the next thing that we want to look at in our ad metrics is, let us just get back there quickly and scroll down. The next thing that we want to look at is our cost per click. Okay, so that is every time that a person clicks on your ad or interacts with it or clicks through to your website or takes an action on your ad. So she's paying 2 Rand a click, which is very good. Okay, we normally say a click should be around 2 to 5 Rand, but it varies per industry. All right, that is also not something you need to be worried about too much, as long as your cost per click is not something like 10 or 20 Rand. That is not good. Again, the CPN is cost per mile. I've already explained that. Cost per purchase, same thing. Impressions, same thing. Let me just make sure that we have the right metrics over here. And then the cost per lead we already spoke about as well. So the other things that we can look at is your total spend, your total clicks, your reach, and then the rest of them I already explained. So that is the most important metrics that you should focus on, is your reach, how many people saw your ad, cost per click, what do you pay for someone to interact with your ad, your cost per mile, how much do you pay for 1,000 people to see your ad, and then the other most important ones are your cost per purchase, your impressions is a vanity metric, don't focus on that, the amount of leads you generate, and your cost per lead. And then the last thing to make it relevant is your conversion rate. Okay, so then you just follow that simple mathematical equation that I just spoke about. I know mathematical equations sound like a lot, but it's really easy. You just check what is your cost per lead, times it by 100, then you times it by your conversion rate, and you see what do you spend per customer, and then you compare it with what is that customer worth to you, and then you can see how good or bad your ad is performing. So if your ad isn't really performing the way you want it to, or you're not really making profit on a client, then you need to look at some improvements on your ads. And there's a few simple improvements that you can make that can make a big difference. Okay, so you can look at your headline. So with our AI ad launcher, you actually get like 4 or 5 different headlines, and then it rotates the headlines to see which one performs the best. And I'll show you guys now where you can go and check which one performs the best. But small changes to your headline can make a big difference, because it is the difference between someone stopping and looking at your ad or someone just continuing and scrolling. The creative, also very important. As we say, you need to make a scroll stopping creative. You need to catch someone's attention immediately. If you're not getting results on your ad, then your creative might not be right for your audience and you might not be catching their attention. So make small changes to your creatives. And again, with our AI ad launcher, it gives you a few different options for the creative, and it also tests which ones do the best. But I'll speak about that just now. You can also increase or decrease your budget. So if an ad's not performing well, try decreasing the budget a little bit. Sometimes that makes a difference to the performance. If an ad is performing well, you can also increase the budget to get better results. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with the creative, the copy, or the headline, or the budget. Your offer is just wrong. Like, it's an offer that is not selling and people are not interested in it. So sometimes you should just look at the offer and decide whether or not it is a good offer for your audience. Obviously, if you're not getting people submitting their details and you're not getting leads in, then your offer isn't good enough, and you need to have a look at that and make a difference. Okay? And the next thing you can look at is targeting. So that is mostly important for when you get bad quality leads, because sometimes you spend money, you generate leads, the leads are rolling in, your cost per lead is good, your cost per mile is good, your cost per click is good, but the leads just aren't converting into clients. That will actually affect your conversion rate, which will then make your cost per customer or your cost per conversion very, very high, which will make your ads unprofitable. So if that is the case and you have bad leads coming in, you need to look at your targeting. Are you targeting the right interests? Are you targeting the right behaviors? Are you targeting the right demographic? Are you targeting the right age range? Maybe your location on your targeting isn't right. Okay, you really need to get in the minds of your target audience and think about what do they do, what are they interested in, where are they, what are their age, what is their gender. All of these things you need to keep in mind when setting up your targeting for your ads. Okay, so let's quickly have a look at how the AI ad launcher helps you with optimizations. You'll see on an ad, you get a little button with stars like this and it says Optimise. So you can go and click on that. And then the AI ad launcher will actually give you optimization insights. Okay, so if you have those bunch of different creatives, the bunch of different copy combinations, and the bunch of different headline options, the AI will actually, if you turn on Optimize for me when launching the ad, the AI will actually switch these creatives and copy around to see which combination performs the best. Okay, so, and it will tell you here which one is the best performing combination. So as you can see, this is the best performing creative with the best performing copy. But in her case, I think she didn't have different creatives and different copy combinations. She just has one set. Okay, but this is where you will see what is the best performing combination, and it will also give you optimization insights. It will tell you to maybe add some images, add some videos, add different copy, and then you can start testing and seeing which ones perform better. Then you can eliminate the ones that do not perform. You can also click on audience over here and it shows you the best performing age is 65 plus, the best performing location is Gauteng. The lowest performing age is 25 to 34, meaning that that age range is not really interested. So then you can go and make the changes to your audience according to the suggestions that the AI gives you, and that will increase your ad performance and get you better results, better quality leads, and sometimes more leads, and increase your conversion rate as well in the long run. Cool guys, so that is that for the ad optimization. So let's speak a little bit about ad retargeting or retargeting ads. Okay, so what is the goal of retargeting ads? The goal of retargeting ads is people saw your ad, people interacted with your ad, but they didn't necessarily take an action or leave their details. Okay, so now they're aware of your product or service, but you want to put your product and service in front of them again, or you want to give them a little bit of extra social proof, or you want to give them a little bit of extra education. So the content that really works well for retargeting is short videos, customer testimonials, and then education. All right. So this helps them build extra trust with your brand, and it educates them in such a way that they do take that next step to either leave their details or to book a service with you or to even buy your product sometimes. Okay. So how do we do retargeting? You go into Meta over here. Then you still say that your goal is leads, okay, in this case. Then where the retargeting comes in is under the target audience. Okay, so you can go and play with the creative, you can put in your little customer testimonials or your short explainer videos. Then you go to targeting over here and you say edit targeting, and then you click on retargeting. So who do you retarget? You retarget past website visitors, people who's watched your videos, people who's interacted with your videos by leaving comments or likes, but they don't necessarily convert into a lead or to a paying customer. Okay, so you go here, you can say 90-day form opened, you can select your contacts, people who is in your database that hasn't spoken to you or booked with you in a while. You can say website visitors for 30 days, you can say AI video views 50% viewer, You can say Hustlery AI leads 90 days. So if you go and select your retargeting audience list, it will give you a bunch of options. But the best ones to target is people who's watched 50% or more of your video ads, people who's engaged with your ads, or past website visitors, or people who is already in your database but never became clients. Okay? So that is where you select that. Then you can go and select your age, gender, location, same as normal. And then you launch your ad. And then those people that you selected will go and see your ad again on Facebook. And hopefully that is that extra little nudge they need, and that you build that extra little trust that they need for them to actually give you their details, or for them to go and take an action on your website, whether it be buying, booking with you, or just booking a demo, or just becoming a lead, so that you can go and nurture them further and turn them into paying customers. And this will in the end increase your conversion rates exponentially and the performance of your ads as well. Cool guys, so that is that. If you guys have any further questions, or you guys struggling with setting up these retargeting campaigns, please do not hesitate to contact us. We are always here to help you. You guys know where to reach us by now. At the bottom right, there's a little green button with a question mark. Under live tech support, you just select that and then you can leave us a message. Our customer support agents are always available during business hours during the week to help you guys. And if you have their number, you're more than welcome to send them a WhatsApp or give them a call. We're always here to assist. Cheers guys, check you in the next one.